and I sort of wrote about it in the chapter about Huang Yushan's work in chapter 2. And watching it again, a lot of details actually just make me want to delve into the film much more than what I did in the limited space. Before this film, you made 3 other feature films. You know, we leave aside your documentaries about prominent Taiwanese women for now, but the 3 films you made between '88 and before this one was 落山风 Tempest, 双足 double bracelets, and the Penny Birds. Yes, and you called them initially a female desire trilogy, right? So it was named after it. It went off. When I spoke desire, it went off. Okay. We just have to. Yeah, these are a little antiquated now.
They might be out of battery.
Yeah. Okay, we just have to pass the torch around. So a few years later, when you researched and made this film, and after its release, you changed the grouping of the films. You called all these 4 films together as 4部曲, as a tetralogy. So what made you decide, and how is this film Spring Cactus different, all similar, but adding something more to the earlier set of films, and that made you decide to give it new name for the group? Yeah.
When you mention a woman trilogy, right? At that time I was called a female or woman director, but I think I like to make some other subject matter. So I chose this story, and it just not only concern about the female, it also related to the young generation. You know, yeah, Xiaolan. Yeah. So why I cast this character, because from my childhood, because I studied in junior high school and some middle girls school, and I always called 模范, okay, yeah. Good student. But for Xiaolan, this kind of a career, I like to tell the story. So this story is based on true story. This film script is based on true story. When I get the story from a director from TV station, she asked me if I can make it for TV, program. But I'm more familiar with film circumstance, situation. So I say if I can get enough money, I like to make it a long feature film. So before I made this feature film, I made a documentary it's a girls on the street, and they have the same destiny or like Xiaolan in this film. And also I co-writing with another man, script writer, and he invests some, interest plot like the lark, the cactus, yeah, and some he made some symbol, of the true 道具, props, props, yeah. I think it's different from the original story, but I like it, like tea or cactus or the lark, and in the end, some people maybe not very understand why I make it like a happy ending. Actually, it's not happy ending. Yeah, it's in her dream. She want to go back to her home, but actually it's not possible. Yeah, so and in the end of her life, she died of heart attack. because she want to seize, the drug, and he eat many different kind of things. He ate wrong drugs, so she fell down in the end, and she died only of the age of 28, very young. And before I met her story, I read a lot of her diary, and I talk. We went to some, 那个茶室 the tea house. I went to tea house to do some research. Yeah, and when I see this film again, I find there are so many locations in this film, but it's real. When I read her diary, there are many more locations than you have seen in this film. Yeah. So when I make this film, I have to condense the locations, the plots in her true story. Yeah. So I read this script many years. Yeah. And when I feel I complete a right script, then it's not so difficult to find money actually. So from my experience, when you are ready for the script writing, and when your script is completed, then it's not too far, for you to get money. Yeah, that's my experience. And also, I want to mention about the actors and actresses in this film, because I don't have much money to make these films. It's called independent film production actually, and so I found many characters, from drama theaters. And also I use Jia Jingwen as the leading actress, and use Mo Ziyi as the Peijen, the boyfriend. Yeah, and for them it's their first character in the big screen, like a cinema. But after 20 years, Jia Jingwen and Mo Ziyi, they won the best actor and best actress in Golden Horse Film Festival. So I think. But I never mentioned. You mentioned that how long they will, work in the film circle, because it's so cruel. If you want to live in a film industry, you have to work very hard. Not just for director, but also for the actors and actresses. Yeah, and also I saw some, supporting actors and actresses in this film. And Wu Penfeng and Qiu Xiuming, they also win the best supporting actor and actress in Golden Horse Film Festival. But both of them already passed away. So I feel so sorry for them. But for Jia Jingwen and Mo Ziyi, they are in their golden age now. Yeah. So every time I watch this film, I have many, I go back to my, period, 25 years ago. Yeah, this film is made in 1998. Yeah, it's about 25 years ago. Yeah, and when I make this film, I shoot in Super 16 camera,
16 millimeter.
Yeah, 6mm. Yes, and as a director, I feel you have to find money, you have to find the good actors and actresses for your film. But if you want to complete your film, you have to go through all the 考验, the challenge of the producing. Yeah.
Or the honors, matters.
Yeah. But in my experience, I feel if you find a good subject matter and if you continue, if you keep going to write to make it become a good script, then you will succeed in the final for the final film production version. Yeah. So I think I just start the beginning. Okay. Yeah. I like to hear your response.
Yeah. Suppose the first three films focused on very specifically on female sexual desires, and subjectivities. But was this one based on real life stories? There is this broader social canvas, social landscape. Xiaolan, but also other members of generation from different classes, and also different kinds of masculinities, in the picture as well. So And I think the feminist name title makes it more encompassing, from a feminist point of view, but it is a broader investigation of the Taiwanese society and the transformation. Maybe Beth will ask a question or make a comment.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I actually really like the accidental mix-up of the screening order. So we ended with the short, which there's a line that I picked up, and we're all very familiar with the phrase. The character said, "Capitalism is prostitution." So I think I really like the connection, because given that Director Huang, your film with this one particularly, and by the way, is actually the first time I get to see it. Really lingers a lot on the sex work and female agency for sure, and also this transformative period in time for this such a unique individual and a rebel. What else I want to add? When I was viewing it, the story, especially, it begins with the girls' schools and uniforms, and somewhat titled with the moments when they were in the women prison, and there's also uniforms present. So your film reminded me of Mimi Lee's work from the 1980s. There's also that underlying suggested, probably not intentional, but there's an underlying suggested lesbian friendship and lesbian desire and sexuality there. And also later probably inspired Blue Gate Crossing, which is more contemporary and for our we're more familiar with this film for our generation. But my question is actually more about your experience as a director, which I learned from other directors that I've known and interviewed. They often, well, first of all, they don't tend to watch their films, so they would always walk out. They would leave the room and not stay in the room. But one interesting question that often comes up, and it would offer, if I didn't ask, they would bring it up themselves, is that if you could go back and change something from the film, and I'm not suggesting that you should at all, but they told me that because they wouldn't necessarily just think about the narrative and how these sequences were stitched together. When they're watching their own work, they're also reminded of things that weren't included, or the mistakes, or things that you wish you could have done if you had, let's say, maybe a budget, a typical Hollywood feature film budget. So my question is just as simple as, if you could go back and add something or change something or leave out the scenes, what would it be?
如果你就是可以回去改或是加更多的戏的话，你会讲什么？
Because this film is made in 1998, I think when I made this film, I want to make it as a good construction of a film, production. So even now, I don't think I want to change, the structure. Yeah, I think it's enough, details, for Xiaolan's, time, or period. And the only thing I think, if I want to change the film, is maybe a little bit about the editing. Like or the length of the editing. For example, the reaction of the reaction of her father, or the reaction of Xiaolan herself. So what when I watch this film again, I think if I can change a little bit, that's editing, rhythm, but not. I don't want to add more, plots to this film because too many scenes, too many, plots in this film, And one of my friend, she's a writer. she wrote a criticism about this film. He called it 长恨歌. 长恨歌.
Everlasting, what is the word?
Yeah, 长恨歌. A girl when she grew up, she has encountered many things. Many things happen in her life.
Chinese tale,
poem,
poetry.
Yeah. So
regret. Like everlasting regret.
Yeah. And also when I watch this film, I think because I choose many actors and actresses from the theater, from the stage, so maybe they are not so familiar with the filmmaking process. So sometimes you will feel they are a little bit 生疏, a little bit not so. They are not so
This mic is acting up weirdly. Oh no. We didn't do anything to it.
Yeah.
I think okay.
It's okay. I fix it. Just do not touch anything.
I think the acting in film is different, a little bit different from the acting on the stage.
Hello. And maybe we just use this one.
I think it maybe
Somehow
it comes on and off. So you just hold it here, like this.
So this will be
Standing by. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So just speak to it. Do not do anything to the microphone.
Okay. I think the acting of drama, actors, it's a little bit different from the acting in film, So they prefer to act from the beginning to the end. So when we shoot this film, we usually use one shot, 一个镜头到底, one take, from the beginning to the end. Yeah. So I tried this kind of camera work with my camera man, and also he used some stylist, lighting, For example, when Xiaolang, lie on the bed, the light is just come from the top. It make her look a little bit weird. Yeah. So we try to make a kind of melodrama story became different from the what we used to expect. Yeah. But when I watch this film again, I see the character, the actor or actress from the theater, they act good because they can speak their dialogue from the very beginning to the end. You don't have to divide your shots, in many and so many shots, in one scene. Yeah. So if you watch the film carefully, you'll find that every plot they finish in one shot. Yeah.
One take.
Yeah, one take. And also, when I made this film, this is my fourth film. I feel I like to make some of the plots in a surrealist way, in dream or the position of the character or the angle of the camera. They will be different from Taiwan New Cinema. That's what I want to say. Because I have many friends, I know many directors from 1980s, and they are used to long take, 美学, aesthetics. But I think I like to move my camera more than long take, aesthetics. Yeah, and also I think I'm brave to use new actors and actresses in my film. But at that time, when I finish my film, I don't have. I feel exhausted. I feel I don't have enough money to do the publicity, to the distribution. So most of my film, they have to go to the film festival to get some awards or to go to competition session. Then I would make more familiar or known to the audience. So it takes longer than the normal films. Yeah. But I think every time I made a feature film, I think I also have to challenge myself in terms of the technology side. For example, I made this film. I used super 16mm film. It's difficult, for some technician men. But for my cameraman, he's good to create some special scene or special lights, or camera work for me with me. Yeah. So when I finished the film, I said, oh, okay, finally I can. The film can go to a theater, but it's a long way, for me, because I have to spend more energy to do the publicity, to do the distribution. So when I talked to my friend in Women Film Festival 2 weeks ago, I said, even Taiwan women's director, they are more big down. They are seeing in film industry now, but we need more distributor or producer, in the film industry that will help them to do more good films. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there are many women filmmakers in Taiwan now. I can just project. Okay.
But indeed, distribution remains a huge problem. We'll talk more about that when Jasmine's new film comes up on Sunday. Yes, that was a great question. But an answer, I wanted to also just follow up was what you said about the choice of using 16mm. Why was that decision? 你为什么不用35毫米那个时候? Why not 35? Why 16? Because a lot of new wave cinemas started with 16mm, right? It's sort of like a signature medium to use. It's freedom and not low budget, of course.
I think we use a lot of handheld, camera work in this film, and if we shoot in 35mm, that it's very heavy. It's more expensive to rent the equipment, and you cannot move very free. But for this film, I think I like the camera, go into the inner side of the character. So I think that I still feel the option, the choice is good for this film. Yeah, because she wandering in her society, and she met many people. Yeah, so the moving camera help the character go into her inner side. Yeah, but for something I ask the character to speak to finish the whole things, dialogue. Yeah, and so it depends on how she act in this film. Yeah, for Xia Qingwen, I think it's a good training for her, because she graduated from Central Drama College in China, and when I cast her as the main main actress, for this film, I have seen her her play acting in a TV series. I think she's good for this character. She's not very pretty, but she has how can I say, characters. Yeah. She's very characterized. Yeah. And the actors and actresses from Hong Kong and Taiwan, like the bad boy, he is from Hong Kong, and another one, Hu Bin, is from China. Actually, he is a very famous model, in China. But this also his first film. Yeah, and he's very tall, and Jia Xingwen is not so tall, so they became like a strong contrast, in this film. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Beth has a question more, and then we can open to the floor.
I also wanted to maybe quickly respond to your earlier comment about Taiwan New Cinema, and because I wrote about it, and just a comment on the 4 male auteurs, which similar to many other new waves of its time, that it's very much a boys' club. But I also critiqued about, I think the issue is who's writing the history and who's including and it's inclusive and also exclusive practice of, you know, who decides who gets to belong to New Cinema or not, because I think your work really, you know, surprisingly, I don't think you don't need a long take to be able to argue that connection, because I see the urban setting and the urban stories, you know, people picked out on that theme from Edward Young's films, and but that raw emotions and you know, a lot of defensive defensive acts and revenge killing, I think that also connects to Chen Ai-lan. So I really think that, you know, there's connections that should be drawn. But that's not really my point. I think I'm also interested in because in today's world, and some people argue that it's that this should have been implemented much earlier. But in Hollywood right now, there is a new practice of hiring this person or creating this position called intimacy coordinator. So when I watch this film, I'm particularly interested in your experience when you're directing Jia Jingwen, especially, you know, she's just so her performance is really just outstanding, and but it's also hard not to think about her role and her character and how much she has to expose herself and be and maybe adopting a method acting of, you know, doing all this prostitution-related acting. So, but I would also imagine that she's in a great care, especially it's a woman director directing these scenes. So I wonder if you can share your experience.
明白，就是就是处理这些这么亲密的、比较敏感的这样的一个角色，跟性啊跟有关系，就怎么样保护他、处理好这个，又要让他演出，又要就是不要让他受到伤害。
Yeah, when I invite Jia Jingwen to act in this film, I'm not so familiar with her before. So, but she has done her job very well. I don't spend much time to directing her because she knows how to act as a prostitute. Yeah, very professional. Yeah, but I think the costume and the makeup is wonderful for her. Yeah, the costume she wear and the makeup, the hairstyle from of different stage is very close to the reality. Yeah, so that helped a lot, you know, for her acting. Yeah, but for my part, I didn't direct her very much, but I discussed with my cameraman more than directing Jia Jingwen. So I think she is very good actress, and she helped the film a lot. Yeah, and I remember when we showed the film in the theater in the premiere, you know, screening, and the real person's father, Xiaolan's father, came to see the film. Yeah, but he doesn't come to me and say, "Oh, I'm Xiaolan's father." Yeah, but I also know her sister come to see the film, and they think it's very real to her life. Yeah, and I also remember, you know, when I finished the screening, and I sent my friends to say goodbye, farewell, and I cannot stop my tear, you know, just falling down. I don't know why. Never happened to me. And in that moment, Moji come to me, and she said, "Are you okay, Director? Are you okay?" Because I cannot stop my tears. It's just falling down. So I think maybe Jia Jingwen, no, maybe Xiaolan, the real Xiaolan, she's in the theater. Yeah. I have the intuition, you know, at that moment. Yeah. So I don't know. I think the character, when she got the script, she she practiced by herself. We don't have much time to do the rehearsal, but everything she act, I think it's perfect. So we don't shoot many times. Yeah, and also because the camera work is a handheld camera. Yeah, so and also because my team my team workers, they are very professional short film director, and they know how to do the lighting, to do the camera work. So in some sense, I say I'm very lucky to have this independent, film team. Yeah.
So in other words, it was a very congenial working environment. And Jia Jingwen, the actress, how old was she? 20岁、25岁左右。贾静雯 she was professional and comfortable, sounds like, so it wasn't the kind of situation I think Hollywood usual gigantic setting and so on would have posed. So I think we probably should open to the floor for a couple of questions, and then we're all starving, so we can all go get filled up.
I'm curious because it is adopted from a real story. I want to know how much your artistic liberty, how much, I mean, because still it's a film, you want to make money, you have an audience, but in terms of how truthful to the original story, what's the artistic liberty you took?
Okay. How much you changed and how much was true to the original story?
No, not really changed because just mean
the liberty, yes, the creative input.
I think 70% is based on the real, on her real life, and 30% is from the imagination or shigo, fiction.
I was moved. Well done. I was
Thank
moved.
you. Yeah. And when I read the script, after I rewrite the script for 3 or 4 times. Yeah, and I cooperate with a different, script writer. Yeah, and this script has been nominated in the 优良辅导金, has been nominated in,
for government
grant, but I didn't get it, at last. But I my company cooperate with Taiwan film studio. It's in middle part of Taiwan. It's not mainstream, studio, but it has also have long story like Central Motion Picture Company. So when I work on this film, I feel the producer from Taiwan film company, they cannot help me because they are too far away from the mainstream, industry in Taipei. Yeah, but
the film was largely shot in Taichung.
Yeah, Taichung, yes, yeah. But it shown in different theaters in Taichung, Taipei, and also Kaohsiung. But for the south part of Taiwan, it's difficult to show in the theater. We have to organize a film festival and to invite this film to be singing for the audience in the south. Yeah. And also when I write the script, I read the Xiaolan's diary, very carefully. And some of her diary, I think it's very difficult to make it because it's so 很混乱. So of her original diary. Yeah. For example, the scene when she inject herself and fell down, and there's a guard, a young guard, and climb up on her.
Hallucination.
Yeah, it's a hallucination. This kind of imagination is from her diary, but I change it a little bit because if I adapt it from her real diary, it will be you will feel confused. What I want to say about the man on her bed. Yeah, so I made it simple. Yeah.
May I ask you one more?
I think we should. You can ask it later.
Sure.
Anyone else who would like to share a question or comment? Okay.
I'll
Yes.
just shout. I'm loud enough.
No, we're
Kind of recording, I think. Yes. So.
for the archive.
So thank you for bringing this film. It's awesome. I loved it. You already kind of touched upon this question. It's about editing and sort of the dreamlike sequence of the film. So especially during the kind of the marriage, like wedding ceremony part, and also after she got out of prison, like the editing sometimes is like, I don't want to say jump cuts, but like the editing is more fast paced and there's a lot more like sort of dreamlike sequences. So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that. 我可以用中文再说一遍。
简单的用中文
哦，
讲一下
没事，可以很大声，就是可以讲一下就是剪辑，然后还有就是像那种梦境一样的那个片段，尤其是他们就是结婚和他出了监狱之后，这些会剪辑会变很快，所以想听一下这个。
他的考虑是吧
I think the editing, rhythm is very fast in the film actually, but when I watch it again, I feel some reaction should be longer, yeah, that will express her mind or her situation in the special moment. For example, in the last scene of her, when she fell down in front of the church, actually she didn't see the real priest, priest, yeah. She just see her in her, just see him in her dream, yeah. And if I made more, shortcut, like close up of her face, maybe the audience will feel more clear that it's her dream, not to mix with the real life, yeah. So her husband actually became a priest, in the real life, yeah, and so it's a regret for Xiaolan, yeah. But I think in her heart she wants to go back to their marriage life, or they can live together, yeah. I don't know if I answer you, yeah.
Okay, I think we have to stop here now. 8:30, 8点半了。We thank Director Yushan HUANG and
Thank you.